Is 2024 going to be the right year for you to visit Disneyland Paris? Or will some circumstances mean that it might be best to wait just a little bit longer until your visit? Hi everyone, how's life, and welcome to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Sam and I do a lot of Disney content on my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with me. It means a lot. But without further ado, let's get to whether or not 2024 is the right year for you to visit Disneyland Paris. Now, as we know, quite a lot of new things came to Disneyland Paris in 2023, including the most recent one being the opening of Brasserie Rosalie, which is one of the first restaurants to have reopened for the new design of Disney Village at Disneyland Paris, with loads more to come in the next couple of years. Of course, we had a brand new show arrived to Walt Disney Studios Park, which was Together, a Pixar musical, and it's a fantastic show. It's got a live orchestra, some amazing beloved characters. Woody's there, Buzz there, loads of Pixar characters, as you can imagine. Of course, we also had the end of the fan favorite 30th anniversary celebrations at Disneyland Paris, which I was very lucky to be there for the very last day of it. It was emotional, it was amazing. But of course, there's also going to be some new things happening in 2024, one of which has already happened, the Disney Electrical Sky Parade, which debuted on the 8th of January 2024. It's part of a whole new season that Disneyland Paris has launched called the Symphony of Colors. Of course, we've already had the Disney Electrical Sky Parade, which, as I mentioned, debuted in January, but come February we're going to have a whole new show, some new Main Street decorations, some new snacks. So it's going to be a very fun, colourful season until the 30th of September. And of course, then we've got the Halloween season and the Christmas season, which happen every year at Disneyland Paris, and I think Disneyland Paris does a fantastic job of both of them. Now, this year with the Halloween season, there are strong rumours that there's going to be a very new Halloween cavalcade / parade. The Vive la Vie song, which we all love, has been around at Disneyland Paris for quite some time now, so it's about time for Disneyland Paris to make a new parade, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. And of course, the Christmas season is my absolute favourite time to visit Disneyland Paris, so no matter what year you visit Disneyland Paris during the Christmas festive period, you're going to have an amazing time. It is beautiful. That Christmas tree, the decorations, the snacks, the shows, just the atmosphere, the coldness, the hot chocolates that you can buy on Main Street. I mean, there's just a lot going on. I feel like it's such a beautiful, magical time, extra magical really, to be in Disneyland Paris, and Disneyland Paris does a fantastic job of celebrating the festive season. But most of the things that I've talked about are in the main park, in Disneyland Park. Now, 2024 is going to be very transformative for Walt Disney Studios Park, the second gate of Disneyland Paris, and already Walt Disney Studios Park looks very different to what it looked like when it first opened in 2002. Now, I'm going to get to all this a little bit more later on, but another thing that's of course happening in 2024 is the Olympics, and they are going to be happening in Paris, in France, where Disneyland Paris is located. That's going to be in the summer of 2024, between July and August, so potentially crowds are going to be sky high throughout those months, so that's something to bear in mind as well. But all that being said, I feel like for some of you, 2024 will still be a great year to visit Disneyland Paris. Now, the first reason why Disneyland Paris might be a good place to visit in 2024 is if you are somebody who hasn't been to Disneyland Paris ever. I mean, if it's your first time, you're going to have an amazing time. There's going to be so many new things for you to experience and see. Or if you have been to Disneyland Paris before, but it's been quite a while, especially if you haven't been back to Disneyland Paris since 2020 when the park closures happened. A lot has happened since then. Disneyland Paris has now become known for drone shows, and they do a phenomenal job of it. Of course, we had Disney Delight with the 30th anniversary. Now we've got the Disney Electrical Sky Parade. There's a lot more new snacks, a lot of vegan options, there's a lot more new shows. The park, especially Disneyland Park, looks amazing, so if you haven't been in a few years, then you're going to have an amazing time. Also, not forgetting that in the summer of 2022, Avengers Campus opened in Walt Disney Studios Park, so that's a whole new land for you to explore if you haven't been in a few years. Even if you're not a Marvel fan, which I'm still not the biggest Marvel fan, you're still going to enjoy it. There's a couple of new rides, new snacks, just a new area for you to hang out in, have a look around, meet some superheroes. It's a fun addition to Walt Disney Studios Park and a nice sign of things to come in the next few years. Another reason you might want to visit in 2024 is that prices will probably continuously go up. I mean, that's not a secret, that's just what happens with most Disney parks worldwide. And of course, with the Olympics coming up and the Walt Disney Studios Park expansion over the next coming years, I feel like prices at Disneyland Paris are going to keep going up, and it's going to become more expensive. So if you have found a great deal, a great offer, a great price for you and your family, then 2024 is going to be a good time to go, because it's only going to get higher up, unfortunately. Another reason why I feel like 2024 might be a good time to visit Disneyland Paris is if you're going for a particular season. So if any of your other previous visits to Disneyland Paris have been during regular time where not much extra is going on, and potentially you're visiting in 2024 during the Halloween season or Christmas season, then you're going to love it. Even if you were in Disneyland Paris last last year in 2023, then there's still going to be some new things for you to discover during the Halloween and Christmas season at Disneyland Paris. Because as I mentioned earlier, they just do those seasons so well, and you don't have to pay any extra for it. It's not like the US parks where you have to pay an additional $200 to attend these exclusive parties. You can just go in the parks throughout the day and you'll be able to have some great entertainment, some character meals, like I said, snacks, etc. So Halloween and Christmas time, if you've never been to Disneyland Paris during those seasons, you're still going to have an amazing time going in 2024. Another reason is if you have a child in your family who is under the age of 3, then 2024 might be the last year for them to be able to visit Disneyland Paris for free, because children under 3 get to visit Disneyland Paris free of charge. So if that's happening, if your child is turning 4 later on in 2024 or in 2025, then 2024 can still be a fantastic year to experience it at a low cost, or lower cost I should say, because Disneyland Paris is never cheap. Of course, if you regularly visit Disneyland Paris like I do, if you've got an annual pass, or if you just go on a yearly basis, then you're going to enjoy Disneyland Paris. It's always going to be a good year for you to visit regardless of what's happening. But this video is mainly about people who don't go often, who maybe go every few years. And now that I've talked about reasons why 2024 might be a good time and good year for you to visit Disneyland Paris, I also want to mention some reasons why you may want to reconsider going to Disneyland Paris in 2024. You might want to delay it to 2025, 2026, because whilst Disneyland Paris has some fantastic things happening this year, as I mentioned, we've got a whole new season with Symphony of Colors, we've got Halloween and Christmas that they come every single year. If you visit on Bastille Day, the 14th of July, the fireworks show there is phenomenal. So there's a lot going on in Disneyland Paris in 2024. But again, as I touched on it a little bit earlier, Walt Disney Studios Park at the moment is a little bit of a mess, and that's putting it lightly. So Walt Disney Studios Park has been notoriously known as the weakest Disney park that Disney has ever made. Now, I don't personally agree with that. I love that park. I've always enjoyed it. It's got some amazing rides. Even before the addition of Avengers Campus, I really enjoyed being there, and I actually really enjoyed the theming as well. But there's no denying that it was a very small park. It kind of lacked atmosphere. There were things that they could definitely do to improve it, and Disney did announce a few years ago now that there's going to be a lot of new expansions coming to Walt Disney Studios Park. Now, when they first announced this, they said that they were going to be building Avengers Campus, which already opened in 2022, Frozenland, which we're still waiting on, but construction's going very well for that, and Galaxy's Edge, a Star Wars land for the third land. Now, that has since been gone. We're not going to be getting a Galaxy's Edge, at least not in Walt Disney Studios Park. So everyone's waiting to see what that third land's going to be instead of Galaxy's Edge. Now, there are some very strong rumors as to what that third land's going to be. Of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because as soon as we get an official announcement, I will be talking about it. But yeah, I feel like we're very close to hearing official news about that third land at Disneyland Paris very, very soon. In any case, as you can imagine, with all these new expansions coming to Walt Disney Studios Park, there is currently quite a lot of work happening. So loads of construction's walls, loads of construction everywhere, loads of things being closed because of the way that they are doing this. And that's just going to get worse throughout 2024. Now, Disneyland Paris is a park that is open every single day of the year, so obviously they don't really have much choice if they're trying to build new lands, new themed areas. Whilst the park is open, they are going to try their best to give guests the best experience as possible at the same time of doing loads of works and constructions in that same park, and Disney does a great job of it, to be honest. So if you are visiting Disneyland Paris in 2024, you will still have a good experience, and loads of Walt Disney Studios Park will still be open. Avengers Campus should still be open, Ratatouille Land, like everything should be open, but it might just be a lot more difficult to navigate throughout the park. It just might not look as beautiful as it normally would, because there's going to be loads of walls up. Studio 1, the main entrance of Walt Disney Studios Park, that is going to be closed completely in April of 2024. So if you're visiting Disneyland Paris anytime from April 2024 until April of 2025, then just be prepared to walk through that park in a very different manner. Like I said, Disney cast members are going to do their absolute best to give you the best experience that you can have. Under the circumstances, there's going to be pathways from around that big Studio 1 entrance, so you are going to have a great time still. I'm not saying you're not going to have a great time, as long as you are prepared to see Walt Disney Studios Park in very much a transformative year. It's going to be the most going on in one time at Walt Disney Studios Park. Like I said, with the actual entrance, Studio 1 being closed, that itself I think is going to make it a big change, because with that closure, we're also going to be losing Restaurant Enquiries for about a year, which is a quick service option inside Studio 1, meaning that food options will be a little bit more limited in Walt Disney Studios Park, and food options are generally quite limited in that park anyway, so that itself might create a little bit of problems. Like I said, Disneyland Paris is going to do their absolute best to still give guests a good experience. They'll be putting some food stands around. There'll be options for you to hopefully still have a good time, but if it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip for you, or if it's a trip that's very special to you and you don't think you're going to be going anytime soon after that, then maybe holding off until 2025 or even 2026 might be better, especially if that park, Walt Disney Studios Park, is important to you, because Disneyland Park is going to be fine. It's going to look beautiful as ever. There's so many fantastic shows there, characters, obviously incredible rides that have been there for a long time. Disneyland Park isn't getting too many new things in the next few years. They're getting some stuff as well, but not quite as much as Walt Disney Studios Park. And of course Frozenland, again, I've touched on that before. It's been under construction for quite a few years now, and loads of people seem to think that it's going to be opening in 2024. No. As much as I would love for it to open in 2024, I think it's very clear that the opening date for Frozenland will be sometime in 2025. Now, of course, we don't have any official opening date news from Disney yet, but don't expect it to open in 2024. It's going to be more likely the middle of 2025 from my guess. And so that means that if you're a big Frozen fan, or if you have a Frozen fan in your party, then might be better to just wait until 2025 once that whole new land is open, because we're going to get a new attraction with that, Frozen Ever After. So many cute themed areas, which I'm so excited to see. I think Anna and Elsa, we're going to be able to meet them. I'm just excited for Frozenland. So if that's an important factor for you, then like I said, it might be better to wait a little bit. And of course that third land, that mysterious third land, which we are going to get an official announcement about very, very soon, that probably won't open until 2027 or something. So we're still quite a few years off for that. So really the main thing is that Studio One is just going to look very much under construction in 2024. I think after this year is over, from 2025 onwards, I mean, there'll still be construction because there's still more things to be built. We're going to have a full-on new garden, some new restaurants. There's going to be a lot more coming, but it will never be quite as under construction, in my opinion, as 2024 is going to be and the beginning of 2025. Another thing to bear in mind if you're visiting Disneyland Paris in 2024 is Disney Village. Now, Disney Village is the shopping district of Disneyland Paris. It's not very big, so if you're used to Walt Disney World and Disney Springs there, it's a lot more smaller than that, but it's got loads of restaurants, some shopping areas. It's a lovely place for you to walk, especially if you're staying in a Disney hotel. And that whole area is also going under construction. Now, the construction work in Disney Village isn't quite as extreme as what's happening in Walt Disney Studios, but some of the restaurants in Disney Village have been closed for a while now. Planet Hollywood is one of them. Of course, Rosalie recently opened, but there's more plans for different changes coming up to Disney Village. McDonald's will be closing down at some point. It's going to return, don't worry, but it's going to be changing locations. It's going to look very, very different to the McDonald's that we are used to in Disney Village right now, which has very much a 90s feel to it, and I'm going to miss it. But yeah, that's another thing to bear in mind. Disney Village is going to go under a full-on transformation as well, and it's going to come out looking a lot more different, I think, in a couple of years' time. Also, if you are limited to summer only, if you can only visit Disneyland Paris in the summer of 2024, specifically July and August of 2024, then again, it's just worth remembering that the Olympics are happening, so more than likely it's going to be busier than normal. I mean, August and July are very busy months in Disneyland Paris anyway, particularly around the middle of July time. Bastille Day is one of the busiest days that you can visit Disneyland Paris, but end of July, early August can be very busy as well, and I feel like 2024 is going to be a little bit more busy than normal because of the Olympics crowds. So yeah, these are the reasons why I feel like maybe 2024 might not be the best year for you to visit Disneyland Paris, especially if you're somebody who only visits every now and again. But like I said, there are also some phenomenal reasons why you should visit Disneyland Paris in 2024, and at the end of the day, no matter what time you visit Disneyland Paris, you're going to have a magical time. There is so much going on, so many new shows. Disneyland Paris is well known for entertainment, fantastic entertainment, whether it's nighttime shows with drones, fireworks shows. Disney Dreams is still here, and I'm so excited that we still have it. There's going to be a brand new Alice in Wonderland show coming to Walt Disney Studios Park in spring of 2024, which again, if you want more information on this, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because we don't have an official opening date for it yet, but it's coming in spring of 2024. So even though Walt Disney Studios Park is going under loads of transformation, the shows are still there. You've got Together there, you've got Mickey the Magician, Dream Factory. I mean, there's going to be a lot. And of course, with the Alice in Wonderland show, which apparently is a very unique show, it's going to have some audience participation, and apparently the audience can actually affect where the story goes. I'm actually very intrigued about this new Alice show. So yeah, Walt Disney Studios Park still has a lot to offer, and of course we've got Avengers Campus, Place de Remy, Toy Story Playland, Tower of Terrors. There's a lot going on, so as long as you know what you're getting into, as long as you know what to expect, there's going to be loads of walls, loads of construction walls going on, loads of building. It might be a little bit difficult to get in and out of the park. In 2024, you will still have an amazing time, and of course Disneyland Park is just a beautiful park. And with Disneyland Park, there's going to be some little changes happening as well, but nothing major. The Storybook ride is going to have a couple of new scenes coming to it, so that ride might be closed for a little bit, but most of the big rides should be open most of the year, and it's just a gorgeous park. The castle looks great. I feel like it's going to look beautiful for the Olympics especially. So with that being said, I hope you have the most wonderful time if you are visiting Disneyland Paris anytime in 2024, and leave a comment down below, let me know. Actually, I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially if you're not an annual pass holder, especially if you don't go very often. If it's your first time, let me know in the comments down below when you're visiting so I can get excited with you and for you. And if you want to be up to date with more news about everything that I mentioned in Disneyland Paris coming up in 2024, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram as well. I'm also on Threads, on Facebook and X, so as long as you are following me somewhere, you should be able to get all the latest news at Disneyland Paris, and I'll be bringing you more vlogs as well from the parks. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful to you, and also if you're visiting Disneyland Paris in 2024, I'd love to hear your thoughts as to what you're looking forward to the most, because Symphony of Colors has kind of started, but like I said, we've got more coming up in February with the new show. Of course, Halloween and Christmas, some new restaurants opening this year, new shows, the Alice in Wonderland show. There is quite a lot happening actually this year in 2024. So I hope you have a fantastic time whenever you visit Disneyland Paris, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!